Hello, welcome to another Gundam Battle Operation 2 video. That is the new suit, the Geara Zulu. And man, just because of this suit coming out, a lot of people are already speculating that the Unicorn Gundam is going to be coming this anniversary. And I don't blame them. And a lot of people are already saving their suits, but I've seen this suit everywhere now because people are excited because the Unicorn is the Unicorn. A lot of Unicorn suits are coming in. We already have a few, but yeah, can't wait to see what we got. Oh, there's a bunch of variants for the suit I can't wait for, especially the Zulu, the Z Zulu? Is that what it's called? The one that's amphibious? That means we might have a high-cost amphibious suit. But yeah, and of course I got two matches here for you. One in a solo, both of them are in ranked match, by the way. First one, the one we're doing right here, is actually a solo match that I did later on, and the second match is going to be in a team with Taru on Arctic base. And of course, whenever a new suit comes out, it always has to be Arctic base, and City Ruins always follows with. But I did get to play a few matches in custom matches, and I gotta say, there's one I have saved up and recorded where a glitch happened on Mountain, and I can't wait to show that. But yeah, before we get to that, we got to get through this initial thoughts video. And yeah, this is it's a 2-star unit. It's only got one level, which is kind of like with the Hazel only having one level. It's a 550 suit, and I think I already mentioned 2-star. Yeah, 2-star, and a pretty basic suit. But if you know how to get your stuns, especially with the stun accumulation, you can get do some nasty damage. And yeah, we'll go ahead and start off with the stats here. You have 17,500 health. You have 14 ballistic resistance, 27 beam resistance, 25 melee resistance, 25 range strength, 30 melee strength. You have 130 speed, 215 boost speed, 70 thruster gauge, and you have 66 turning speed, which I believe bumps up to 70 something in space. And then for slots, you have 15 close, 16 mid, and 9 long range slots. Obviously, it seems like they want you to play more melee oriented with the suit, although I've seen some people buff up their thruster gauge, because a 70 is a pretty high thruster gauge, and it has the slots for 15 close range, close, and 16 mid. Actually, I think the level 4 uses some mid range slots there, so yeah, you can buff that up, or you can make this thing even more tankier, because 27 beam resistance is pretty high, just normally for 550, so you can definitely buff that up. The 14 ballistic resistance is pretty low, but you're not going to be worrying too much about that. Just keep an eye out for suits with bazookas and really strong ballistic attacks, especially suits like the Stark Jagan. That's one that comes to my mind immediately, or the Nomades. That thing can, or those things can fuck you up pretty hard. There's some other ones I'm not mentioning, but you get the idea. And yeah, so it seems like some pretty good stats here. Nice. Except for the low ballistic resistance, but you know. And then for your primary weapons, or I should say your weapons overall, but when we start with your primary weapons, you have the Geara Zulu beam machine gun, which is 350 damage. That is also has 36 rounds and 250 range. And if you shoot it uncharged, it does a burst fire, and it shoots 6 for every burst fire. You can cancel out of it at any time, although with how fast it shoots, you'll probably be canceling out like after the second shot, maybe in the third shot. So there's that, and it takes six of those shots, all 6 shots, to stun somebody. However, you can actually charge it, and if you do charge it, it consumes 6 shots of here, and you can use it as a normal stun. And since there's 36 rounds, that means you get 6 shots, I believe, 6 fully charged shots. So that's 6 potential stuns. And if you're not using all those stuns or all 6 shots every time, you can actually, let's say if you get down to you have 3 or 4 shots, 1 shot left, you can actually charge that and get a regular stun off that as well. So there's that. And yeah, so it's a nice little weapon. Of course, what makes this weapon really shine with the uncharged shot here is that you can mix this with one of its sub weapons that makes it get a really fast stun. But yeah, before we get to that, we gotta get to the melee here, which is the Geara Zulu Beam Hawk, which is 2,900 damage, and yeah, this thing does a lot of damage. Yeah, this thing will fuck a raid up, it'll fuck a support up, it'll fuck everybody up. And it does a lot of part damage too, I believe. So I've seen a lot of people running around with part breakers on, you know, the the leg breaker parts. And yeah, you will take some hefty chunks out of people with that, just with the tomahawk by itself. The neutral swing is that, I want to call it the Axaku neutral swing, the one where it kind of does the overhead. You know what I'm talking about when you see it here. A little bit slow, so it might be easy to dodge roll out of, or for people to tackle into. But yeah, it still does a lot of damage. I believe what somebody told me, and from what other people have said, actually has a... To prevent this thing from doing a lot of damage, they actually had to reduce its combo damage potential, like its reduction, or increase its reduction by like 50%, which is yeah. So this thing does a lot of damage. You know, that's the whole point of it. It does a lot of damage, and it can do gross damage, and you can get that out consistently if you can get your stuns with these secondary weapons here. You have the hand grenade, which is 1,800 damage. You have 3 rounds and 150 range, but of course it's a grenade. You can toss that farther. And, yeah, if you toss a grenade and shoot your beam rifle, I believe it's 2 or 3 uncharged shots, and you already have a stun. That's really fast, and that can allow you a potential melee swing. And if they do a dodge roll, then, well, you can follow up with your next weapon here, which is the Geara Zulu Sturmfaust, which is 2,500 damage, 1 round, and 200 range, and it has a really fast ready-up time as well. It's not like for some reason, the regular Sturmfaust has a really long ready-up time when you pull it out to shoot somebody. It's just a tube on your hip, and you pull it, you're like an old fucking man trying to pull it out. But here, you're pulling out this RPG-looking thing, and it readies up really fast. And it's basically just a Sturmfaust, although since you can pretty much use it like a bazooka since it readies up fast and you can point at somebody and shoot. It does have, small range, 200 range, but yeah, you can use that to, if you stun somebody normally with your other weapons, you can probably use that to wait for a dodge roll, go for that, or use it for combos, like let's say somebody's on the ground, use that, go into your melee, or you can use that as you're starting out stun and then go to your melee or one of your other weapons. So yeah, pretty good set of weapons here. And then finally you have the Geara Zulu shield, which is 5,000 health and it's considered a large size shield. And yeah, I don't know why the regular Gyaradoga shield doesn't count as a shield and this one does, even though they're literally like the same thing. But yeah, this is a a Zeon grunt suit with an actual shield, which is pretty amazing. And since it's so big, it actually can protect you somewhat decently. Like let's say if you're on the ground, somebody does their, let's say a Federation downswing, can actually protect you quite a bit depending on the angle they hit you. So I like that. So nice that we have a shield here, even though it's kind of funny because the Zaku shoulder shield on its right shoulder. That counts as a shield, but even the even the creators of Gundam, or even Bandai, I guess, whoever's working on some of the Gundam shows, even they are like, oh well, yeah, it's not really a shield. It's pretty shitty. It's just there for design wise, or for design purposes. Let you know it's Zeon. But hey, mission completed. And we'll see what we got going on here. Hey, top assist and top damage, nice. And going to be praising our raid, and I believe, yeah, the Jagan D-type. And we'll see what we got. Hey, second place, awesome. 3-2. Good pursuit assist score, almost 90k. I say almost, it was 8,000 away from 90k. And yeah, and here's the Arctic base match with Taru. It's like the third match we did. And yeah, it can work pretty well for Arctic base if you have the right team setup. And yeah, so that's it for the weapons and the shield, of course, for the Geara Zulu. And now for skills, you have Shock Absorber level 2, you have Quick Boost level 3, you have a Dodge Roll, you have Flight Control level 2, you have Blast Stabilizer, so you don't get stunned around mobile suit explosions. You have Balancers, you have Ambac level 2, you have Force Injectors, you have Maneuver Armor level 1, you have Personnel Radar level 2, so you can see infantry, or people getting out of their suits, I should say. You have a right shoulder armor buffer level 2, which I believe is 15% on your... I guess they consider that a Zaku shield. So you take less damage getting hit there, so that's nice. And you have melee combo controllers. That's 2 swings. And yeah, so that's it for the Geara Zulu, and I gotta say, it's a relatively simple suit, but it can do a lot of damage. It's a great suit to have around, to be honest. I've done plenty of matches to where we've had quite a few Geara Zulus on my team, and it's a little bit iffy on if it works or not because the suit, which we'll get into the pros and cons here, it has a limited amount of range. You can't play like super sniper game with this. So I guess to go ahead and start off with the pros and cons. And the cons for the suit is, of course, that its range is pretty limited. You know, the furthest you're gonna get is the beam machine gun, which only whittles in damage. You know, the whittling damage or chip damage, you can say. And if you charge it up, you get a stun, but you can't really capitalize on that if you're sniping. So you definitely want to be playing mid-range to close range with this suit. You know, maybe mid-range when you're approaching with the machine gun to get a stun, or with your grenades. That's definitely what you need to do, and then getting close with your melee or get a stun with your Sturmfaust. But yeah, this thing has a limited amount of range, so you want to be playing at a closer range with this suit. I've seen already a lot of people who don't realize that the Geara Zulu, the beam machine gun, you can't just be spamming it uncharged, even though it is fun, you know. You're just shooting everybody every now and then, or just watching it rapid fire. But yeah, that's definitely want to get in for that melee. Another con for the suit is that it has 14 ballistic resistance, which is pretty low. And for some suits, like I mentioned earlier, like supports that use ballistics, like the Stark Jagan and the Nomades, the Dom Nomades, yeah, you will take a lot of damage. And I believe at 550, there are some suits like the Dryson that uses a bazooka. Some people are still willing to use the Mark II at 550. The Gallus J, yeah, the Gallus J, at least with its whittling missile damage. So yeah, there's that you got to worry about. So just be careful around ballistic weapons. But honestly, you can still run in. Your maneuver armor should help you from not getting stunned if you can pull it off. So there's that. I guess another con you can say is that this suit is a tall suit, so it can be pretty easy to hit. Thankfully, it has a shield that can protect it on one side, but your legs are still pretty easy to hit, and you still have a little bit of a girth to it. You're not as big and chunky as the Geara Doga, thankfully. So you're not a massive suit. You know, you're not bulky, but you are a tall suit. You'd be pretty easy to hit. So keep that in mind. And then for the pros here, the pros are that this suit has a really damaging melee. Like, you'll be chunking, and it does great part breaking, or part buildup, I should say. So this is definitely a suit you want on your side when you're going for a melee combo stun lock on an opponent. It's a really good support in general, honestly, to have with you. And another pro for this is that the stun accumulation for the suit is really quick. Again, one grenade toss into, I believe, 2 uncharged beam machine gun shots. Person's already stunned, and that allows you to set up a situation to where you can checkmate somebody by making them do a dodge roll. If you guys don't know what I mean by checkmate, checkmate is where you make the opponent use up their defenses like dodge rolls, or you get them out of maneuver armor. So you can totally just stun somebody with the grenade and the machine gun. They do a dodge roll. If you get close, maybe pull out your melee weapon to get them intimidated, and then pull out your Sturmfaust. Since it readies up really fast, get a stun, and then go for your melee. Or if they do a dodge roll, you can already go in there with your melee, and then add the Sturmfaust to your combo. So there's that. And of course, if you just want to damage people, you can just go for the machine gun. Like, if you don't want to run in the middle of your teammates doing their combos, so that's decent. That's nice. Got some nice damage on it. So yeah, the weapons are pretty nice on the suit. Although there might be a problem, which since if you're going to play the suit, I recommend you learn the stun accumulation, because trying to get a uncharged stun or a stun accumulation with the uncharged shots of the beam machine gun is going to be pretty hard on its own. I think around 550, that's also when damage control becomes a little bit more prevalent in some suits. So you're not even going to get stunned with the full uncharged shot with this suit. It's gonna take beyond your 6 shots. So you want to throw in that grenade to try and help you out, or wisely use that Sternfaust in situations to help you out. But yeah, I think there's another pro I'm trying to get out of here. I think the stats are pretty good. Yeah, 70 thrust gauge, 27 beam resistance. Even though the 30 melee, even the melee is strong enough to where you can run. I've seen people just run with the thruster gauge and other parts that run the 15 close range slots and still have 30 melee strength and still do some good damage. So yeah, I like the slots and the stats on the suit. Obviously not the 14 ballistic resistance, but yeah. And yeah, that is the Geara Zulu, and I gotta say, it's a. I'm not a fan of its design. It's a little bit too World War II German for me, which the whole thing with Zeon is based on that kind of aesthetic. But this one's like way too obvious. It's obviously wearing like a gas mask, wearing like a Stahl helm, all that good shit. But I like how it plays in this. You can definitely play a pretty nice supporting general role, or you can go pretty aggressive in frontlining and getting a stun and just doing massive amounts of damage with the weapons of the suit. Specifically the the beam tomahawk, and also if you can't tell, we're trying to destroy the base here, and I'm completely ignoring this Dryson, who's trying his darndest to combo me, but thankfully the Dryson's just, since his weapon knocks down, he's not going to be getting insane combo damage on me, and I'm just going to take out this base as soon as my Sternfaust readies up, which the Sternfaust actually does some decent damage to bases as well. So yeah, there goes the base. Awesome. And I'm going to be living at the end of this. But yeah, Geara Zulu, pretty nice suit. And of course, although it does fit the 2-star, for me, the ranking, one of those, the rarity it's been assigned. But hey, first, mission completed. We'll see what we got going on here. Is that the Rose and Zulu color scheme behind me? But hey, not on the board, but I will be praising some people. Like our support Palestine was nice, and so was the other Geara Zulu. And hey, 5th place, 3 and 2. Not as didn't get 2nd place like last match, but I'm fine with it. Pretty good match there, and I destroyed the base. But yeah, the Geara Zulu, it definitely feels like a 2-star suit to me. It doesn't have a insane range you can work at. It's pretty versatile in the close range department. Again, you have stun accumulations and you have instant stuns to work with, which is nice. Pretty good melee. It can play a supporting general role, or it can help frontline. Well, that's also supporting, but I guess I could say just frontlining in general. It's good at hunting raids, because holy shit, the raid damage, especially on the raids that have lower melee resistance, yeah, good night. Holy shit, they're gonna die. Even supports, like I've gotten like over 4,000 damage down swings on supports, because obviously they'll have like 0 melee resistance on some of them. So yeah, that's pretty good. But obviously it doesn't have the range to fire far enough away. Like you can't engage at a super long range. So maps like military base, is that what I'm thinking of? Yeah, military base or desert is going to have to get a little bit closer to the enemy to be effective. And I think there's something else I was going to say with the Geara Zulu. I think I might remember when I get to the when I post that mountain match, because that mountain match it was going so well, and then like the last, I think, a minute and 50 seconds in, that's when the glitch happens. I'm just sitting here. You guys have to see it. It was stupid. It's just GBO2 being GBO2. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want. I'd really appreciate it. And type up in the comment section how you feel about the Geara Zulu. Do you like it? Do you hate it? I like the Geara Zulu, how it plays in this game. Although I think it would be nice to see it be it using other weapons. It does mention in the description for this suit that it can use other mobile suit weapons, but you only get to use the beam machine gun in this game. So what I'm guessing at is either they might add some more later on, or maybe that's a hint that we're gonna get variants of the Geara Zulu. If you guys don't know, we have suits like the Z Zulu, or we have basically the Geara heavy arms, but it's the Geara Zulu instead. You know, it's using the Bruno gun. I think there's another one like the Guards Custom or something like that, where it has another shield on it on the right side this time. That's the same as the one on the left arm. So that'd be nice to see. You know, a couple of more Geara Zulus. Also, find it funny that like the Xeon suits are higher cost than the Federation suits. Man, it really sucks that they didn't have an Amuro on their team, or whatever the guy's name is in Unicorn. I think a lot of people jokingly call him like Bananas. But yeah, I can't wait to see the other Unicorn suits, and I'm excited to see the Z Zulu, so we can get another high cost amphibious suit. Hopefully 600, you know, because that 600 and above is sorely lacking in amphibious suits. So that'd be nice to see. And yeah, so I do recommend if you want just another, you know, general to play, this could be a pretty good one to play. Help support your team. But I should say though, if you already have some suits like the regular Geara, or what's another one? There's another 550 suit I'm trying to think of. Maybe like a Gallus J. You know, they can probably already do the job for you just as well. Like with the Geara, it has the heavy stagger. It has 2 melee weapons. You can get a triple downswing off, so that's a lot of damage. So for some people, I think some people won't roll for this because they already have, like, you know, good options there, and that's fine too. You know, some people are already saving up their tokens because they know Unicorn is coming, and honestly, I can see why. You guys go ahead and save up your tokens. If you know, maybe the Geara Zulu come in later. I think some people have found the Geara Zulu in silver crate boxes, or just the boxes in general, in you know, the ones you get after matches. So for some people, there's no reason to roll, and that's fine, you know. But this is a pretty fun suit to play. Even if it's not good for some people, I think it's still, you know, just worth playing just for fun. And yeah, that's gonna be it, and I will see you guys later. Bye.